They say the creation of time and the buffalo withstood many centuries of changes. It was said there were going to be miracles, and it was just the beginning. There's going to be other signs in the sky, in the land, in the air, and that was just the beginning. What I was told was it was a time of great need. There was hunger in the land. The people had turned away from the Creator, the Great Spirit, and in retrospect, he too had taken away from them some of the things that they may have taken for granted. It happened. They sent two warriors out. Their mission was to find food for the camp. As they were traveling, they had seen something in the area. It was something to see. At first, it appeared as a whirlwind. They didn't know if it was a dust storm. They didn't know what it was until it cleared. The air cleared, and there was a lady walking. She was a young lady dressed in white buckskin. I guess she was nice to see and nice to look at. One of the warriors had a foolish thought. She knew his thoughts, and she said, "For you thinking that of me," she said, "you're nothing." And with the wave of her hand, he fell into ashes. This other one was humble. He seen the power, the magnitude of his power, and he became very humble. This other one was very afraid. And for that, for your humbleness, I send you with the message back to people to prepare, that I'm coming with something to share with you. So he did that. He told his elders what had happened. Some believed him, some didn't, but I guess they had to make ready just the way she had said. And the time for her to come had come, and she appeared to the people, and she appeared as a white buffalo, and she was transforming along her way, and she sang songs, and she prayed with them, and she showed them the pipe and told them the significance of the pipe stone and the stem, how to connect, what it means, the representation, and through this there would be life, if they would believe only, that in prayer and towards the Great Spirit. So on her way out, she was singing a song before the people's eyes, and she, like a whirlwind, a mist, she turned into a white buffalo. Well, in the spiritual sense, I believe that in the spirit world, they use colors to navigate. Colors represent strength, purity. There's a lot of meaning behind colors, and in the spirit world, they use that to navigate. It's like a channel between their world and our world.
One day, the white buffalo would appear again, and in reference to the time of when the great cleansing would come. See the buffalo as a reflection for the health and the well-being of our people.
In some form, she was a part of the great mystery himself, and he had to reveal himself, but in ways that wouldn't put anybody in shock, or his message. And it's just like he spoke through her, to the people.
How do you think she would see the Native people today?
I think that if our ancestors came back and looked at us, which I believe they do all the time, they're constantly by our side.
I think she would be sad to see her people like this, kind of in poverty, We get put out on this little piece of land, and it's like people don't know what to do, the way that we have been treated from the time that she was around until now.
Yes, yeah. If you look around at the world today and the things we're doing to it, it's just disgusting. I don't know, it's ugly. Like, I look at the cities and the cement and just like the houses and everything, and I just feel sick. And, well, reservational life isn't traditional life. Like, a lot of people would think like the res, like, oh yeah, I live on the res, I'm so cool. But like at the same time, the reservation system was created to kill off our people, to take an energetic, kinetic tribe of people and put them on a small plot of land where they could pretty much rot off and die. So it's the ultimate goal should be to get off the reservation. This is theirs, which yeah, it is. It's yours, but all of it should be yours, not just this. Our native cultures had to adapt to in certain ways, like just to be able to make it in this society we live in today. I don't know, like a lot of the old stuff is good and everything, but it's not that it lost its value, but it's like you can't keep going in the same ways, you know? Like, you can't keep hunting for your food, you can't keep doing all this to live in a certain way, but it's almost impossible to, like, hold on to the culture entirely. But you can do a lot of stuff still, like a lot of ceremonies, and, I don't know, you could dance or drum or whatever. I don't really do any of that myself. It's almost like you have to merge into the white culture to be able to make something of yourself by their terms.
Elders hang on to it, but the young people, they kind of tend to drift towards Western education, technology, and they lose their language barriers, they lose sight of their culture and their history, so the sacred circle will never be rejoined. There's going to always be a missing link. It's going to be up to us to strengthen the bond.
And I believe in many faiths, because my grandfather, Henry Crodog, told me that these teepee poles, each one of them represents a different denomination. And there's something that keeps all these denominations together in unity, even though each one says they are the way to God. Wings, these wings that come from the heavens above, came down amongst all these people that pray to God, to Him, teepee. So that teepee, keeps all these denominations together, and in there it keeps them warm from the forces of earth, air, fire, and water, from the sacred four elements. There's a rope that ties these teepee poles together. That rope is called many names because it ties together each denomination. Up there at the top, right before that message gets to God, up there's a unity. Even though each one comes from a different place, just like the rays of the sun, each one is reaching out to each one of His children. When that sunshine comes out, you can just feel God's light. And I want to say that and share that with you today.